be it registered nurses, theater practitioners, or any other, specialist who belongs to healthcare industry. We'll be discussing all the opportunities for them. So let's quickly start with my first question. So whosoever, sir, is planning, their healthcare career in the UK, there are certain requirements for them. So I would really appreciate if you can just throw some light on the major requirements for healthcare professionals.
Sure. Yes. So I think that's a very interesting question. Now, most of the nurses or healthcare professionals, let's call them nurses for now, who are based out of UK and looking for opportunities within the UK healthcare system, they need to have a couple of things. Number one, of course, you need to have your NMC PIN. Of course, you must have done the OSCE by now if you're already in the UK. You should have right to work, which means you have either a dependent visa, indefinite leave to remain, or already settled from various parts of the world in UK itself with the right to work, which means you do not need any visa sponsorship over there. So I think if you have an NMC PIN, a work experience of 1 to 2 years in UK, minimum 1 to 2 years in UK, and have your right to work, you are good to go, to work in the UK healthcare system here.
Okay, great, sir. Thank you so much. Just to add on, sir, it's the experience in any healthcare background, or it has to be as a nurse, if we are looking forward to it.
Of course, if you're looking for a job as a nurse, so I think a good point again to clarify, you should have an experience as a nurse. If you are working as a care worker and would like to go as a care worker in the UK and would like to go as a nurse in UK, it would be difficult. So I think you need to have the experience as a nurse to be able to work in the UK as nurse. Yeah, that's critical. And of course, if you're looking for a role in theater, operation theater, then you should have a theater experience. If you're looking for experience in the ward, if you're looking for a position in ward, then you should have the respective ward experience, like medical, surgical, general ward, etc.
Okay, great, sir. Thank you so much. That I believe that's really helpful for all the aspiring healthcare professionals at the moment who are looking for the opportunities and grow their career. So thank you, sir. Thanks for the answer. So next question, sir. My next question would be NHS versus private healthcare groups. So what do you think? If someone is planning to choose a path in as a nursing professional, where should they go, NHS or the private?
Yeah, so I think while NHS and NHS is a very big brand in the UK, definitely they are the gold standard or very, very well recognized brand of the UK that's available to nurses. But to the best of my knowledge, there are plenty of opportunities in the private sector as well. And I think NHS by far is the gold standard in the UK healthcare system, but the private healthcare groups like private hospitals in particular are a very, very good alternate to NHS. Now, here are a couple of reasons why. One, I think NHS, given the lack of funding, is very, very stretched. So you end up working long hours, you end up working, with long patient queues and always a lot of stress in the system in NHS. Whereas in private, I think only the the elite will go to private hospitals. So we work with number of private hospitals like Circle Health Group, Ramsay, Aspire, and a few others. What you will notice is that once you work with these hospitals, they do not work on emergency cases. So only people who are looking for either surgeries that are non-urgent or people who can afford to pay for private healthcare service will go. So you have less number of traffic, patient traffic, if you may call it that way. So less stressful. The duty hours are more manageable. It's not late night or overnight or weekend duties. So work-life balance is a lot better. And the pay is about 10% better than NHS. And last but not the least, the overall development, right? So training, growth, the employee care is a lot better in the private hospitals than that you will see in NHS. So I think in any day, my humble suggestion would be for any nurse who is looking for role in the in the healthcare system, do strongly consider private hospitals because they do provide ample opportunity for growth and much better much better package. Money is one thing, but looking at the work-life balance, looking at the growth opportunity, looking at the training, I think the package out there is much better than lot of NHS trust. So any day my vote will go for NHS. And full disclosure, we do work with some private hospitals, and they do hire through us. So that's why I wanted to make sure I fully disclose that. Number one. Number two, we do work with NHS as well, right? So for us, to position you in the right hospital is always better than doing one or the other. So I think private hospitals are definitely much better.
Great, sir. Great. Thank you. Sorry, you would like to add on something, sir?
Yeah, so there is one question coming on. Although the webinar is focused on the local nurses in the UK, there is a question around. Sweta has asked for Nepalese nurses. So yes, for overseas nurses as well, there are plenty of opportunities, although a bit less, I would say, at this point in time. But if you are based in UK and you already have an ILR, doesn't matter. Irrespective of nationality, we will take you. But if you are based out of Nepal, yes, do send your resume to hello@nursify.co.uk and we'll be able to, find you the right opportunity.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. If I would have been a nurse, it would have been music to my ears, sir. So hearing a lot of opportunities, a lot of benefits of working in private healthcare group. I'm sure everyone, should be excited to, to work in the private healthcare group. That's some great benefits and opportunities that you are getting. So my next question, sir, will be what are the opportunities, or if I should put it in this way, what are the various specialities, that are present with private healthcare groups? Who all can, reach out Nursify for, the kind of designations, the kind of specialities are provided by, by healthcare groups, private healthcare groups to be precise.
Yeah, so I think if you are for the private healthcare group, for example, we are very aggressively hiring for Circle Health Group. If you are based out of UK, and if you do not need sponsorship, which means you are either on indefinite leave to remain, or you are on a dependent visa with right to work, we can straight away take you through the process, provided you you already have an NMC PIN. We have hundreds of vacancies in operation theater, in medical surgical ward, for nurses. And I think if you are in any one of the discipline, you'll be able to find a job. In addition, apart from the nurses, we are seeing physiotherapists, we're seeing theater practitioners, we are seeing, uh, uh, few other roles as well. So, pharmacist, theater practitioner, physiotherapist, and a couple of other roles like clinical manager or risk manager that we have seen. But I think most of the people on the call are mostly nurses. So definitely, if you are a ward nurse or medical surgical nurse or a nurse who has worked in theater, I think you are on the right webinar.
Great, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for this amazing answer. So anyone, just one quick information. If anyone wants to ask any question, kindly put it in the chat box and we'll be happy to take that. Okay. So that's great, sir. I mean, that's some amazing opportunities and various specialities at the moment, which private healthcare groups are offering. So what, according to, is the salary structure? What kind of salaries are provided to the nursing professionals?
Because before that, there is one more question around someone is outside UK, which means you're an overseas nurse. Yes, definitely. You can send your resume to hello@nursify.co.uk. We'll be able to find, you at the right role. I think Shervin asked this question. Okay, so what's your question around salaries?
Yes, it's mostly based around salaries. What kind of monetary benefits if nurse professional is getting?
Sure. So I think first of all, if you are in the nursing profession, you are of course in the right spot. Usually to overseas nurses, they will, meaning if you're based locally, you already have a right to work and you can move very, very fast. They will, when I say they, the hospital will hire you immediately. Okay. And the salary ranges are anything between, for local nurses, 38,000 to 42,000 pounds, or 35,000 to 42,000 pounds. And definitely you can apply for jobs. The salaries are very, very good. Definitely that's the range for the local nurses, but I see a lot of questions around the overseas. The overseas salary range is around 30,000 to 32,000 or 34,000. That's for pre and post OSCE salary. Although this webinar is primarily meant for nurses who are already based out of UK, but if you are outside the UK and as an overseas nurse looking for a job, do reach out to us. Some of the questions that I'm seeing on the screen are, why is it getting so late? Are there opportunities for nurses outside of UK, which means overseas jobs? So I think let me put some perspective for a lot of nurses who are on the call. I think in general, the UK had slowed down immigration of overseas nurses over the last 1 year. I think that's a fact. I cannot do anything about it. It's controlled by the UK government. So of late, the government decided to slow down Immigration. Number one. Number two, NHS does not have enough money, and that's why they don't have enough funding to hire nurses, and that's why the hiring for overseas nurses have been very, very slow. Okay, but private hospitals are now and by the way, this will remain slow till December. Okay, for another 4 months. Now, if you are a nurse based out of UK and already there and want to just shift roles, absolutely good news for you is we are hiring hundreds of them every month, from UK itself. So there's a good news for you. Number two, the good news for overseas nurses is, although it's happening gradually. It is the jobs for nurses in the UK for overseas staff is getting much better, particularly for private hospitals. Okay, um, and um, you know definitely we can put you through if you send us your resume and push it forward. So it has been slow. It's not controlled by Nursify, it's controlled by the government, but it is beginning to be back. Overseas nurses will happen slowly. The nurses who are already based out of UK, probably a much better chance. um, so that's I want to set the context and answer some of those questions. um, for nurses who are already based in UK, let me repeat the requirement. I think somebody else asked the question again. Um, uh, it says MJ, so I don't know what your full name is, but MJ, what you need is there are huge requirement for nurses who are already based out of UK because you don't have to go through a visa process. So what you need to have your NMC PIN, you need to have your right to work, which is ILR, or if you're on a dependent visa, okay, and allowed to work, you are absolutely welcome to join the program, and we will be able to place you hopefully as quickly as possible, provided there is a match between job description and skill set.
Okay. All right, sir. Great. Thank you so much. Yes, definitely. Definitely, we would be happy to place nurses who met all the requirements, which Chandra sir told us. And all of you can share your CV at hello@nursify.co.uk. I'll drop the email once again in the chat box. So we'll be happy to take you guys and assist you in the process. Great. So we've seen there are a lot of nurses who are working like back and forth. There are long shift timings as well sometimes, but that doesn't mostly happen in private hospitals, right? So what are those highlighting points of private healthcare groups, which are an attractive points for a nurse to go and choose, private healthcare groups in that terms? So what would be the highlighting points here?
Yeah, so before I answer the question, there's one more question interesting. So if it's Charisma, I think she's saying, is there opportunity for international nurses already here in the UK and working at SCA and now having nursing PIN to practice as a peri-operative nurse? Oh, absolutely, Charisma. What you can do is send us your resume. We will be happy to look at it. Again, this webinar is meant for nurses who are already based in UK, but nothing stops you from sending us resume even if you're overseas nurse. We'll be happy to take your candidature and take it to Circle Health Group, with whom we work very closely. Yeah. Then Charisma asked the same question about sponsorship. Yes, it is possible, although very few very few opportunities are open right now for overseas nurses, but it is opening up. Going back to Anoop's question, of course, she's representing you. So private sector, why should I join private sector? Right? That's the question. What's in it for me? Why, what kind of additional benefits, right, Anoop? That's what you wanted to ask?
Yes, additional benefits.
Yeah. So I think, as I said earlier, it starts with work-life balance, right? Usually the shifts in the private hospital are not night. Okay, so usually it's, let's say, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. It could be as early or as late as this, right? Most weekends you are free, okay, and that's the good news. So these are kind of work-life balance advantages, if I may call it that way. Second, you will see the career growth is simply humongous. Okay, I'll give you example. One of our nurses from Philippines joined Circle Health Group. Within 6 months, she became head nurse. Okay. Then we had another nurse who joined from Nepal, by the way. A lot of my Nepalese friends are on the call today. And, she joined as operation theater nurse. Then she did anesthesia course. She is a lead anesthetist now. And also she is being promoted to give OSCE training. So I think uh, the other example I can give you is some of the nurses who were in cardiac theater are now doing orthopedic surgeries back in Princess Margaret Hospital or some of the very, very big hospitals in London. What does this tell you, right? These examples tell you that if you are good and you perform your job professionally, there are plenty of opportunities for you, there are plenty of opportunities for you in the UK. And by the way, I want to openly discuss this on the call here. If you are stuck and not finding a role in UK, that's not end of the world. Okay. As long as you are willing to go to other countries, Nursify just opened up doors for USA. We are very, very aggressive in the UAE. So I think, don't be disappointed if UK is slow. It is slow for now. Okay. But it's not that it's stopped. Okay. However, if you remain open, if you're really open, then you can, find opportunities not just in UK but outside UK as well. I mean, we are hiring a lot in UAE. We just hired, last month close to about 150 plus nurses for US Texas Hospital. We were running a recruitment drive in UAE. So, UK is not end of the world, right? If you don't have a role, you can look for other countries as well. Very specific. The question was what additional stuff we get in private hospital, right? Work-life balance, better training opportunities, better growth opportunities. I just told you 3 stories about growth. And, trust me, the employer that we work with, Circle Health or Ramsay or, particularly Circle Health Group, okay, you will be treated like princess, okay, or prince if you are on the other side of the gender. So I think the whole idea is it's a very well respected job in the UK, in most Western part of the world. And if you work with private hospitals, you have better work-life balance, better pay, better growth, better education, better family life. Of course, work-life balance is good. So your spouse is going to remain happy if you go back on time. And,
Sure.
It certainly provides you a much, much better and well-rounded growth opportunity for you if you work for private hospital than, searching for a government job.
Great, sir. Just to add on to that question, maybe you've already explained a lot of benefits, the work-life balance. What is the work culture? What kind of, treatment you get? What kind of colleagues are there, in terms of, because many of, we think, the work culture, the work-life balance is very important thing, in today's world. So anyone who is looking out for the opportunities or change of role or hospital, if they want to shift to a different hospital, there could be, some of the major reasons would be work-life balance and the work culture. So how do you think is the work culture, defined in private healthcare groups?
No, I think work culture is no different than you'll find in the most global organizations. So I think, being part of a good, big private hospital group like Circle or any healthcare organization, I think you need to be very, very professional in dealing with people. very, very high level of customer satisfaction. And three, communicate, really, really well, in the sense that if you're coming from Nepal or Philippines or India, wherever, it doesn't matter, right? Avoid talking in the local language, because others may feel you're talking about them and laughing at them if you don't talk in the local language, if you don't talk in English. So I think avoid local languages, although we're very comfortable in, um, for example, I'm from India and I can speak Hindi very well. So I would, of course, feel very comfortable talking to others in Hindi. But if you're talking to your friends in your language in front of others, this may be seen as rude, absolutely rude. So avoid that. Okay. Number two, the communication has to be very clear cut, crisp, and to the point. Beating around the bush, blah 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 blah. I mean, a lot of that it does not get you any brownie points. Okay. Number three, when you are meeting somebody, respect their time, right? Make sure you take the appointment, make sure you go on time and be punctual, right? And number four, making sure that you mix up with people with to demonstrate camaraderie and collaboration. What I mean by that is, okay, so for example, if there is a festival, right, for you, and your local festival is coming up, and you make some goodies, take those goodies along with you to your colleagues and share with them. Okay, so they know about your culture, they know about that you want to be part of them, you want to be one of them. Because let me tell you, if the locals out there are with you and they are one of you and you be part of them, you blend into a culture in such a way that everything becomes easy after that. So let's say if you are in a foreign country and you're in trouble and you have few friends who are locals, it goes a long way, right? So I think volunteering yourself to do few things, mingling with people, and that could also mean if you by mingling I mean join them for lunch, coffee, dinner, whatever you can for their festivals. Be part of it, be part of Christmas, New Year, as much as you like Deepavali and your local festivals to be celebrated. And I think respect others' time and communicate very, very clearly. These are probably some of the tips I can give you on the cultural side and how to work with locals. Yeah.
Great, sir. So before moving forward, sir, we have some questions in our chat box. So I just quickly, run them through. So we have a question from Neha. If a person does have visa issues but have registered with NMC, is it possible to work as a nurse?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question, please?
Yes. If a person does have visa issues.
Sorry,
ma'am, can you please mute yourself? Thank you. So sorry, sir. So the question is, if a person does have visa issues but have registered with NMC, is it possible to work as a nurse?
Yeah. So if you I don't know what you mean by when you say your visa issues. If you need visa for or sponsorship to work in UK, yes, you will fall under an overseas category. And so do send your documents to us, and we'll be happy to help you. Definitely. Yeah. Another question there's a few more questions on the screen. Maybe you want to take them up?
Yes. I'll just quickly take them up. So next is a question by Charisma, which is, please, is there sponsorship for nurses already in the UK and require sponsorship to work? So like the question might be, I believe, if we offer sponsorship for nurses already in the UK and require sponsorship to work. So yeah, basically how we can sponsorship.
So if you are already in UK and require sponsorship, yes, we will consider you. It's not that we won't, we will consider you. Okay. So send your details to us, and we'll be very happy to consider and talk to our clients and see how best we can position. Yeah. So short answer, yes.
Okay, sir. So yes, please drop your CV at hello@nursify.co.uk. I've already dropped my email address in the chat box itself. So please do send your CV there and we'll take it from there. Next question, so we have is, what if someone who have NMC PIN lives in the UK and already have a skilled worker visa but needs another job?
Yes, so which means you will need sponsorship. Okay. Again, this is a very specific situation. Send your documents to us. We will be very happy to uh, find you a new job. This will require a different kind of certificate of sponsorship, but we will look into this. I can't comment on that in detail without looking at your specific situation. So please send your documents to hello@nursify.co.uk and we'll be happy to look at it.
Okay, sir. Next, we have a question from MJ that I'm a nurse in Philippines, have worked for 6 months, but I've stopped working now. I am currently unemployed. Do I qualify for, or do I need more experience? May I know what are the qualifications?
I think up to 6 months of experience would be gap would be fine, just fine. You're on the borderline. Okay. So do send your details. If you're in operation theater, it'll be very easy for us to push your case through. If you're in ward, it will take a bit more time, but you're from Philippines, so I think you should be able to get through to a decent job very, very quickly. Not to worry about that. Please send your resume uh, at the email Anup just mentioned, and then we will be happy to look at your profile and try to help you out.
So we have just one more similar question is, how long of a career gap do you consider? So as per hospitals, what would be the career gap that is considered?
I
Again,
think up to 6 months is fine. Ideally, there should not be any gap, but if you still have a gap of up to 6 months recent, I think you're fine. Anything beyond 6 months would be very difficult to position.
so one common question again that we are getting, sir, is when will the interviews be, resuming for nurses, overseas nurses at the moment? So that's my very common question being asked by a lot of our guests today.
So I think for overseas nurses, if you are in theater, the interviews can happen fast. If you are in wards, the demand is little slow, but we will be happy to consider your resume. Please send it to us. If you are based in UK and do not require sponsorship, you are in the fast lane.
Okay, great. Another question, sir, we have is from Kawaku. Is I live in the UK and I am on care sponsorship visa. However, I have written all the required UK NMC examination and waiting for my NMC PIN. I have certificates as a registered nurse and a nurse anesthetist. Can you assist me, sir? So that's a
Yeah,
question.
I think the anesthetist job are a little rare, and you need to have a local course done. But yeah, send your resume. We'll be happy to consider and place you. I think you will probably find a job pretty quickly.
Great. Thank you so much. I believe, you've answered a lot of, queries today, sir, already. And whosoever, if you guys have any more questions, any more doubts after this webinar or as well, just drop it to hello@nursify.co.uk and we will be happy to answer it. So I'll just quickly see, sir, if there are any more questions. You have this. Okay. So yes, Charisma, there is one more question. Uh, is being asked that do you have placements around Derbyshire or Nottinghamshire? Yes, we have a lot of positions, we have a lot of vacancies, but before that we would definitely like to see your CV and match as per the requirements. So please do share it at hello@nursify.co.uk. We'll be happy to assist. Okay, sir. So I believe we've answered most of the questions. And let's quickly move on with our another question, sir. That is, how can Nursify help all of these candidates or professionals who are looking out for the job opportunities?
Yeah, so we will be happy to help in various ways. So Nursify is a global platform where you know we can certainly help you with assessment and screening of your profile, which means we can guide you after looking at the profile which job is best for you. Okay, so whether if you have ICU experience or medical surgical experience or theater or whatever, we can guide you for that. Number one. Number two, we will be your friend in the whole process, right from screening to final selection. So you can really count on us throughout the journey, and some of the testimonials that you will see on the site will speak for itself. Um, and number three, we can help you with not only just job search, but resume writing, interview skills training. Um, you know, uh, our team members are pretty much working day and night to make sure that you can get the right opportunity available at the right time. So things like screening, things like resume writing, things like interview skills preparation, training, interview preparation training, to all the way up to accommodation search, etc. But I think uh, where we can be of paramount help to you guys is before you go for interview, we can screen your resume and tell you, hey, does it make sense, does it not make sense, is it sellable, is not sellable. So we can provide all the information. We can help you with interview skills training and even building your resume. We can prepare you for interviews, and once the interview is done, the whole pastoral support, right from visa to accommodation to tickets to everything, Nursify team will take care of that, right? So that's how Nursify team will help you. We have already helped thousands of nurses all across the world, not just from one location. So we have nurses from Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Philippines, etc. Um, and you know you need to make sure that you reach out to us on time so that we can help you on time. Okay. um, One of the questions that's coming up here is how much money you need to pay. Lot of money. It starts with zero, ends with zero, so you don't need to pay any money to Nursify to get placed in the private hospitals. Okay. So we do not charge any money, and I think what you can do is send your resume. We will make our money from the hospital, not from you.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. I believe that's a very important, question which one of our guests asked today, because a lot of people, today think that they have to pay some sort of amount, or not just some sort of amount. It can be huge amount. That's what, there might be few agencies who are charging, but as Nursify, we can assure you we are not charging anything. It is zero, zero, just like sir you said, starting from zero and ending with zero. So yes, it's no cost recruitment. Okay, so just moving forward to one of our last questions is, what how can someone refer their friend, if they want to get their friend along, want to refer, how can they do that?
Yeah, so I think we on our website nursify.co.uk, there's a refer a friend column section, I believe. You can refer there, or you can send your referrals to hello@nursify.co.uk. We'll be very happy to take your friends. Currently, we are hiring for theater, for UK. We are also hiring for, if you are within UK, we have plenty of opportunities for registered nurses, physiotherapists, pharmacist, a lot of vacancies there. If any of your friends are wanting to go to US, uh, we are hiring in the medical, surgical, ICU, ER, telemetry, cardiac, this thing, um, uh, you know, for a very, very large hospital in Texas, USA. As you know, the US process for many nationalities about 2 years. Okay? So if you guys have friends who are willing to, who are wanting to go to the US as well, we'll be very happy to help you. For UK specifically, if you are in theater, I think, uh, you know, or even board registered nurses, there are plenty of opportunities within UK itself. So do send your resume at hello@nursify.co.uk, and we will be happy to help.
Great, sir. Thank you so much once again for answering, all these questions. And we have one more question, sir, in the chat box. Is there opportunity for an international nurse already in the UK and working as an HCA and now having the NMC pin as well to practice as perioperative nurse? So I believe that's again, a repeated question, sir.
Yeah, so I think no, uh, you can work as a registered nurse, but more as a overseas nurse. But depends on how long have you worked as SCA. If it is 1 year, uh, and previously you have worked as a registered nurse in your home country, definitely can be considered. But send your documents, and we will be happy to look at it to better answer that question, because every situation is very unique.
Yeah, definitely. I request you all, if you have any questions, want to get your CV, reviewed and want to talk with our team, we'll be more than happy to take that. Just send your CVs at hello@nursify.co.uk. And if you have any more questions, please drop in the chat box, or maybe, we can quickly answer that, sir. So, sir, that's all from my end. I have asked most of the questions today, which revolves around the local recruitment as well as now overseas as well, because we know it was more focused towards the nurses who are already based in the UK. But yes, would you like to share something else, or just inform our audience or tell them something?
Yeah, so I think first of all, if you or any of your friends are in UK or NHS and working there for more than 5 years, do refer them to us. We would love to speak to them. So that's one. Two, we work with some of the very large private hospitals, okay? And they are, they want to have you, they want to hire you. There is an immediate requirement of hundreds of nurses who are available to be hired. If you already have the visa, great, it makes it very easy. If you do not have the visa, we'll be happy to help you. Those requirements are a bit slow, but nonetheless are available. Those of you who are staying overseas and looking for visa sponsorship, yes, it's available. If you are already in theater, definitely we would love to push your resume forward quickly because they are high in demand. If you are working in medical ward or surgical ward, yes, those are also available, and we will be happy to get you the visa if you require as well. Okay, so that's, if you don't have a visa, does not mean we don't hire you. We will be happy to help you. Then you'll be classified as an overseas nurse and you follow a different process. But if you already are in the UK and have the right to work, then you are in a different process. Okay. But let me assure you, there are plenty of opportunities for nurses in the UK. For overseas, maybe slow, but it will open up soon. If you're already in UK, feel very proud. There are this month alone, we need to fill about 100 positions. Okay, so we need you more than you need us. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, so send your resumes, be in touch, tell your friends. And by the way, if you are worried about, UK, don't want to go to UK. We just opened up another country this month, which is USA. So I think we'll be happy to help you. Let me tell you, the demand for nurses will remain to be very, very high because there's a perennial shortage all across the world. So you will be required to be hired by many of the hospitals worldwide. Okay, and number one. Number two, make sure you keep brushing up your resume. Keep interacting with us. Keep in touch with us, because you never know when do we open up the new destination. We just opened up USA last month. We are working on Canada and Australia, and very soon we will open up that as well. Number three, keep sharpening the saw. What I mean by that is, keep preparing for interview skills, keep working on your personality, keep working on your technical skills, and acquire more skills as much as possible. Because in the time of oversupply that it is in the UK, the best nurse will win. Okay. And if you have sharpened the saw, then I think your chances of getting selected are a lot higher than other people. Okay. These are probably a couple of things I would like to say. Any other questions, Anup?
So we've just one more question. This is, as you said, sponsorship required. How we get job on what visa? Please let me know. I believe this is more of an overseas query that that Renistry is asking. That how would we just mentioned that no sponsorship required. What kind of visa will be used, right? So that's the question.
Yeah, so usually for sponsorship, the tier, so if you are already on independent leave to remain and already in UK, or your dependent visa, you do not need sponsorship. Okay. If you need sponsorship, then typically the visa that is used for UK is tier 2 skilled worker visa. Hopefully I answered the question. If not, you can again type it on the chat box and we'll try to help you out.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. I believe we've taken all the questions as well today, and all the questions we have in the chat box from my end. And yeah, so I thank you so much, sir, once again for coming up for this webinar and answering all the questions. And I believe now we have a lot of guests who have more clarity of what are the requirements, why to choose private hospitals, why go with Nursify as well, and how to submit the application. So thanks once again, sir. Thank you so much for joining in today.
All right. Thank you so much, Anup, and doing a great job. And thank you, audience, for joining us. Again, if you are looking for recruitment help, just drop us a mail to hello@nursify.co.uk and we'll be happy to take it forward. Thank you so much and have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in as well. Thank you. Thank you, sir.